Okay, we're back. We're still in chapter 16, but another big topic of this chapter, which is in section 3. And actually, if you want to look, these pages that you're looking at right now that you can see are page 560 and 561 in your book. And we're going to talk about sharecropping and the cycle of poverty. Okay, those are two things that you'll need to know. Very important topics, and they're key issues. Sharecropping. What is sharecropping? Well, the book will tell us on page 561 that sharecropping, a sharecropper is a laborer who works the land for the farmer who owns it in exchange for a share of the value of the crop. Okay? So, this is the way sharecropping works. Okay? These are former freedmen or poor whites. Okay? There were a lot of poor whites that were displaced from their homes during the Civil War. There were just a lot of poor whites, along with the freedmen or the African Americans that were former slaves. So what do they do first? Well, what do they need first to sharecrop? First of all, they need land. They need land, they need tools, they need, just like you see here, they need mules. Okay, so where do they get them? They get them from the rich, still rich, landowner or plantation owners. Okay, so as you can see here, they get their tools, they get their seed, and how are they going to get this? They don't have any money. Well, they're going to say that they're going to give them a percentage, okay, of the profit from selling the crop once the crop is done. Okay, what happens next? Okay, well, as you can see here, they harvest the crop. Okay, so they do all the work just as they did before when they were slaves. Okay, they also got a place to live. Remember, so this might have been the same place they were living in when they were a slave. But who gets the money from all this? Okay, they had to pay for their crop. They had to. All right, so now the landowner sells or gives the tenant a share of the crop that he sold. He went to market. Now, I just want to put a little asterisk in this part. Do you think, just something to think about, that the landowner, plantation owner, when he went and sold the crop, do you think maybe he was always honest with his sharecroppers? Do you think maybe he might have gotten a few cents more per pound for a crop than he told them about? They were uneducated. Most of them were illiterate, which means they couldn't read or write. So do you think that there was the good possibility that they were cheated sometimes? Yeah, very, very good possibility. So now they come back and the landowner tells them, this is your percentage of the profits. Do you think that that hardly ever paid all the debt that they owed for leasing the land or living on the land? Now you have to understand, the freedmen thought they were free, okay? But as you can see, what happens is, who still has all the control? Who still really has all the money? It's the landowner, it's the rich. So they would get a percentage, might not have been the right percentage, but even if they did get the right, even if it was an honest landowner, all the things they had to buy to get this crop, okay? So then what happens next is step 3. After years of hard work, the sharecropper often owed more than they had earned and had no choice but to offer the landowner a greater percentage. Are they in debt? They're still in debt. That is what is called the cycle of poverty, and that's how sharecropping worked, and that's how the rich stayed rich, the poor stayed poor, and the African American could not get ahead because they were either cheated or they just plain couldn't get out. Now, again, the freedmen, they were now a freed man. Even so, even with this happening, to themselves and their inner pride and their feelings, they felt that at least they're free, at least they have something. But they really weren't much better off than they were before. But that's how sharecropping worked, and that's how the cycle of poverty worked.